Are you thinking about dropping your 2-year-old's nap because you are desperately looking for that solution to the 5 a.m. mom or cry that is waking you up out of a sound sleep and leaving you frustrated and exhausted because you are just not ready to start your day yet? Well, I'm here to tell you that dropping the nap is not the solution to get your child to sleep in past 6 a.m. and what the real solution is. See, maybe someone told you if you just drop the nap, they will be more tired and more likely to fall asleep easily and stay asleep for longer. But the truth is, dropping a nap will likely create an overtired child who is actually going to have more difficulty falling asleep and staying asleep, and honestly, more likely to wake up even earlier the next morning. Let me create a visual here. Imagine a small boat that's gently sailing on a calm sea under a beautiful starry night sky. That boat represents a well-rested child who's gracefully navigating their sleep cycles throughout the night. And the starry sky represents that peaceful and serene sleep environment that you've created. Now, picture a tired child, like a boat battling waves on the stormy sea. The waves represent restlessness and difficulty falling asleep, while the stormy weather represents the challenges the child faces, such as racing thoughts, heightened sensitivity, and an inability to calm their mind and body. When a child is overtired, the usual cues for sleep, like a soothing environment or a bedtime routine, become less effective in calming their restless state. So what do you do when you know that dropping the nap is not the solution because it will create that overtired, stormy boat? Instead, we don't look at taking sleep away. We are going to look at shifting sleep. I call this my intuitive sleep shift. Now, in order to understand how my intuitive sleep shift works, you have to first understand total sleep hours. Each of our bodies has a sleep tank. And just because you're the same age as somebody else does not mean that you have the same size sleep tank. Think about it. Your husband or your best friend might be of similar age to you, but they likely don't have the exact same size sleep tank. Your husband might do well with only 7 hours of sleep, but you know you really need 8 or 9 to feel your best. The same goes for your child. For example, the average amount of sleep a 2-year-old needs in a 24-hour period is 12 to 12 and a half hours. But my 2-year-old, she needs 14 to 15 hours of sleep to be her best. And a client of mine has a 2-year-old that's the exact same age, and they only need 11 and a half hours of sleep to feel their best. So that's a pretty big range, 11 and a half hours to 15 hours. You can start to see here how just using the average amount of sleep hours really isn't enough to uncover your child's sweet spot. Once you discover the size of your child's sleep tank and how much sleep they need in a 24-hour period, you really can't expect them to sleep more than that. So, for example, if you have a 2-year-old who has a 12-hour sleep tank and takes a 2-hour nap during the day, that's only going to leave them with 10 hours of overnight sleep. So if that parent put their child to bed at 7 p.m. after a 2-hour nap, they can expect that child to wake up at 5 a.m. And if they're expecting the child to wake up at 6:30 in the morning, that's just totally unreasonable because the sleep tank was full at 5 a.m. It's like trying to put more gas in your car when your gas tank is full. When the sleep tank is full, it's full. We can't force there to be more room. So what do you do when you can't make more room? We are going to shift the timing of when we fill up the tank. So now that we know that dropping the nap is going to create that overtired, stormy boat and is not the solution, and we've been intuitive about discovering the size of our child's sleep tank, now we're going to move to the second part of my intuitive sleep shift, which is the shifting of sleep. Let's take that same 2-year-old, for example. If the family of that 2-year-old wants to keep a 2-hour nap in the middle of the day because they know that their child really feels their best after that 2-hour nap, and honestly, they use that 2 hours in the middle of the day to get things done, they are then going to decide what is their ideal morning wake-up time. So if waking up at 6:30 in the morning would work really, really well for their family, they're going to start there and work backwards, knowing that they have 10 hours of overnight sleep to work with. So if I work backwards from 6:30 in the morning, that is going to put me at a bedtime of 8:30 p.m. But I'm going to challenge you to be even more intuitive here. Does an 8:30 bedtime really work for you? Or do you know that you are cooked by 8 p.m. and you've got to be on your couch? I'm talking about myself here. So what do you do then? You need to find 30 more minutes of awake time for your child. So an option would be to go back to that nap. Instead of maybe making it a 2-hour nap in the middle of the day, maybe you consider making it an hour and a half. That way your child still gets a nice long restorative nap in the middle of the day that you know they feel their best with. Also, it gives you an hour and a half in the middle of the day to get some things done while still keeping an 8 p.m. bedtime and a wake up time of 6:30 in the morning. Now, hopefully you can start to see here how just blindly following a sleep schedule off of Google that was created for any old 2-year-old is unlikely going to bring your family the exact results you want or results that you feel good about and totally work for your family. With the intuitive sleep shift, you are taking into account your child's own unique sleep tank and making it work for your family in whatever way that needs to be, whether that involves shifting bedtime, shifting the morning wake-up time, or capping a nap. What works for one family's 2-year-old is likely not going to work for yours. Now, the intuitive sleep shift is just one piece of the sleep puzzle, and it might be that one missing piece to your child's puzzle that will instantly improve their early morning waking. But it's also possible that your child's sleep puzzle is a little bit more complicated or missing a few more pieces. That is why I use the Clear Sleep Equation with all of my clients. The Clear Sleep Equation is my sleep methodology that combines research-based sleep training methods with the parent and child's natural intuition. When we use the Clear Sleep Equation to make changes to a child's sleep habits, we address all of the pieces of the sleep puzzle to get results quickly. So not only are we using the intuitive sleep shift, but we're also focusing on parent response and a shared family mindset. Parents' response to an early morning waking is incredibly important because the response cannot contain any stimulation that will disrupt their natural circadian rhythm or will regulate their internal clock to expecting stimulation during that hour. When we focus on parent response, I help my clients choose a response plan that will get them the results they want, in this case, a longer sleep in the morning in less than 2 weeks. But we don't just select any effective response plan. We pick a response plan that fully aligns with their parenting values. And the reason for this is that when you have a response plan that fully aligns with your parenting values, you are way more likely to follow through and be consistent. Now, consistency is the key to making any change to your child's sleep habits, especially with something as stubborn as the early morning wake up. But the intuitive sleep shift and parent response plan is only effective if there is a shared family mindset. Now, the shared family mindset is the glue that holds the sleep puzzle together, not only during the sleep training process, but for years and years to come, so that the sleep issues that you're facing today are sleep issues you never have to deal with again. Without a shared family mindset, members of the family lack clarity around what the new sleep goals are and how exactly they're going to get there. But when all members of the family, moms, dads, babies, and toddlers included, are crystal clear on what the new sleep expectations are and exactly what they need to do to get there, that is when the quickest and longest lasting results are achieved. Shared family mindset not only brings massive clarity to the often overwhelming and confusing sleep training process, but it empowers you and your husband and your child with a newfound sense of confidence, not only around sleep, but that will spill over into all aspects of your parenting or life. So there you have it. That is why dropping the nap is almost never the solution to getting your child to sleep in past 6 a.m. Now, if what I've said today really resonates with you and you're thinking, yes, I totally agree with you, and that's exactly what I've been missing, then I want to invite you to take the next step by booking a free sleep success call with me, where we'll jump on the phone and you can explain to me exactly the sleep challenges that your family is facing today. And on the call, I will help you identify where the sleep holes are, where are the missing pieces to your puzzle, and what you need to do to fill in those gaps so that you and your child can be sleeping in less than 2 weeks. Of course, all in a way that feels totally aligned to your parenting values. You can book your sleep success call by clicking the link in the description box below or by going to loudlimafamily.com. I can't wait to help get you and your family sleeping soon.